Hey YouTube, how's it going? VenomMan20 here tonight. Tonight we're going to try something a little different. I've never tried this before, but my entire life I've worked with reptiles. From the age of 4 years old till now. I'm now 30 years old. In this amount of time, YouTube wasn't always around. I haven't always had a camera behind me at all times. But pretty much always I'm working with some sort of reptile. So therefore, quite a few things have happened in my life that I find quite interesting that you guys haven't been a part of. So therefore, I'm going to start this new series. If you like this video, I find out it gains a little bit of traction and you guys seem to enjoy it, I will post more of these probably about every Wednesday night up until I run out of stories. But there isn't much live action, not many clips I can show you a few pictures, but that's about it. We're going to start tonight with my worst bite. What was my worst bite? So first and foremost, I've never been bit by a venomous snake. I'm very proud of that. Hopefully, I can say that the day I die. That's my ultimate goal in life. But I have been bit by some crocodilians. I've been bit by some large constrictors. None of these are the animal's fault. This is me being stupid. I made a mistake, just like everybody has who's been inside this conundrum. So let's go ahead and get into this story. Anyway, this actually took place while I was working at a zoo, an unnamed zoo. We're not going to get into it. They had a large enclosure in the large reptile building. This building had 3 yellow anacondas, all adults, and 2 boa constrictors. One of the boas was a little bit smaller, but that's beside the point. All these snakes were pretty decent size. Of course, all these were non-venomous. So I walked through, as I was shutting down my daily routine, and looked and seen that one of the boas was laying a little funny in the water dish. The water dish was actually a big pond, like a koi pond almost, that you would see inside someone's backyard garden. And I noticed he was just laying funny. And I'm like, man, he's laying odd. I just fed him. He looked a little bloated. I'm like, oh, I hope he's okay. So one anaconda's up here in the tree. You wouldn't think a yellow anaconda being arboreal, but they kind of are. One's up here inside the tree. One's down here along the edge of the pond. So I come in through the door that's on the side. I forget, there's another yellow anaconda in here somewhere. There's another boa too, but I'm pretty sure he's coiled up here with this anaconda. I'm kind of in a state of panic because I think something bad has happened to this boa. So without thinking, I reach down into the water just to touch the boa, just to see if he moves. The second I touched him, he did stick his head up, but I felt an excruciating pain in my left hand. Something had grabbed a hold of me and had started to coil. Of course, it was the yellow anaconda. So this snake bit a hold of me. Anytime you get bit by a non-venomous snake, I've trained my brain to not pull away. I'm pretty decent at it. Now yet again, I've started working with a lot of venomous snakes, so I still kind of have a tendency to be a little jumpy, but there for the longest time when I was just working large constrictors, I had trained my body to not pull away. Because the snake's tooth is recurved, so it will actually catch and rip the flesh. So it's not good. Just don't pull away. It also hurts the snake's mouth. It's not good for anyone involved. I got bit, and I didn't know I was getting bit, and it hurt. So natural instinct took over. I pulled. When I pulled, all of his teeth, of course, sunk down into my hand. And like I said, he started to coil. He thinks, yay, I'm getting a free meal. This is awesome. I love feeding time. They're always hungry. I mean, anaconda's the biggest snake in the world for a reason. They love to eat. So this guy coils me up thinking he just landed the biggest meal he's ever seen in his life. He got up right up to my shoulder. So he's on my hand, coiled pretty much all the way up. He's probably about an 8 foot, 9 foot individual. I can't bend my arm. Okay, that don't sound like a problem, but typically in order to get the teeth out of your hand or your arm or whatever, I will take a credit card and actually slide it back against the teeth and work their jaw off that way. It's about the best way to do it without ripping a bunch of skin. A lot of people say if you run the snake under warm water, it will relax them, and it could. Tried it before, didn't work so great. I've heard a couple other things, but that's beside the point. I got to thinking, I just seen a zookeeper right outside the door. The zoo's already closed. There's no one in here. I could totally call her back into the reptile building because I really hate to call a code red. A code red means I'm in trouble. If I say code red to the giant reptile building, people are going to show up thinking I'm dying. I'm not dying. I'm fine. I just need to figure out how to get him off of my hand. So I ponder calling her. I'm like, I really don't want to call her because unbeknownst to you guys, it's actually my ex-girlfriend. And you're like, Brandon, that's pretty petty. You don't understand. Anyway, I decide I will call her back to the giant reptile building. I'm pretty sane at this point. I'm with my wits. I've been bit before. We've been through this. So I just call over the intercom like, hey, could you come back to the giant reptile building? I got a question, whatever. Just don't want to draw alarm. Don't want people to freak out. And prefer my boss to not find out. But you know how that is. Anyway, I sit there and I wait. Well, I'm starting to drip. Because if you know anything about a snake bite, you bleed pretty good. They just, for some reason, you'll see a snake bite and you're like, that's gotta hurt. They really don't. I'd rather get bit by a non-venomous snake than I would stub my toe, to be downright honest. It's really not that bad. But it's starting to drip. I'm starting to get blood everywhere. I'm like, this ain't good, this ain't good. So I'm standing over the trash bucket. There's a bucket there. I'm dripping into the bucket trying to figure out, arm ain't that big, I'm sitting here like this. Arm's getting tired, so I'm starting to drop down a little bit. Sitting there waiting. Doors are locked. I'm good. I don't have to worry about anybody coming in, even though zoo's already been called clear, just in case, because sometimes there'll be a family member somewhere that we won't find, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I'm dripping, trying to figure it out, and all of a sudden, he lets go. I feel him let go. I'm like, oh, sweet. And then I feel him strike. He's now striking at my legs. I'm like, great. Because my arm is already exhausted at this point. It's been a while. So I'm trying to hold him up. He's trying to strike at me. I'm like, this is my opportunity. Number one, I can't let him bite me again because he's going to coil again. It probably won't be any better than the last time. So I grab his tail and I start uncoiling him. It's going pretty good. He's still trying to bite me, but so far I'm able to avoid it. Finally, I get him down into the floor. I'm like, okay, he's into the floor. I assess the damage. I look good. It's a really dark room. Because I don't want the glare shining against the glass of all the bright lights. They want the cage lights to be coming out into the aisleway. Pretty dark room, so I can't really see how much damage there is. So I go in, I might have grabbed the python hook. I might have just grabbed the snake. I can't really remember. I'm not sure. Knowing me, I probably just grabbed the snake, just picked him up and put him back inside the enclosure. Because once I can see what the head's doing, I'm normally pretty good at avoiding bites. Boa was fine. Anaconda was fine. How is Brandon? Great question. I walk outside into the light. Check out my hand. He had bit me pretty good, but there was no lacerations. Just small little pinholes, a little cut. Nothing major. Nothing major at all. It hurt. Hurt pretty bad compared to most of my bites. But bleeding pretty good. Rinsed everything off, cleaned it out, and scrubbed it. It's been about 20 minutes. I've cleaned up the blood. We're all good. The zookeeper comes back. X comes back. Hey, what'd you need? Oh, I thought one of the snakes. I thought I was going to have to move it. I'm fine. Never mind. Yeah, she goes on. We're good. She didn't even see my hand. Awesome. So, anyway, thank God it wasn't one of the bigger snakes because I would have been dead. I would have had to have called a code red because she would not have made it in time. Anyway, my boss ended up finding me. She's like, what is wrong with your hand? I'm like, anaconda, they are what they are. And she's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Anyway, I didn't go to the doctor. It's a tiny little snake bite, not worried about it. As of a couple weeks, I couldn't bend my finger. I really couldn't bend my finger after the fact, but I couldn't bend my finger. I think when I pulled away, a tooth had nicked that ligament or that tendon right there. and I couldn't bend my finger. My finger was just stuck straight all the time. So I'm always pointing at people, even if it's just stuck. So I just left it alone. I figured, it'll grow back. And yeah, about 2 months later, I regained the use of my finger and we're all good. Compared to the alligator bites, I didn't have any long-term side effects, a couple little scars, no big deal. Compared to some of the large constrictors, no big deal. That one really hurt. Pain alone, that one was the one for me. But anyway, like I said, this is a new series just where I tell a couple stories. Next time I might have a reptile out on the table, but I'm getting ready to feed a few things, so I don't want to get anything too riled up. But if you enjoyed this, give it a like. If it gets, 150 likes, I'll do another one next week. If you guys don't enjoy this, I will just continue bringing snake and lizard and crocodile content. Yes, the crocodiles are coming back here soon. Just been very busy setting up filtration systems. Once I get that done, we'll check out some cool little beasties. But anyway, like I said, if you like this, like it. Make sure you subscribe. Y'all have a wonderful night. Thanks for checking it out.